we discussed the effect of viscosity on the flows. Now we'll start the turbulent flow. Laminar and turbulent. I have shared the some of the photographs of laminar flow and turbulent flow. So a flow through small pipes or at low velocity is usually laminar flow. Whereas if the diameter is large or the velocity is high or it has less viscosity, then it is turbulent flow. There is an apparatus to check the whether the flow at what velocity or at what conditions the flow becomes turbulent and laminar. So for that, say we have a tank in which we have some fluid. If I open this, then because of the pressure difference, the flow will start. Okay. If the wall is closed, then flow will be stopped. Now in this, if I put a tube, at the center portion, and this is the color dye tube. Okay, so it is like some color. Okay, if I put color and open the wall, then this color will mix in this liquid and it will start flowing with the liquid. If I open wall slightly, what will happen? The flow will start at low speed. So this color will disperse like this if the flow is it's like a straight line. Okay. If the flow velocity is low, so this is the same pipe, okay, then it will be a straight line. Whereas if you further open the wall, then what will happen? The velocity will increase, and in that case, this color will disperse slightly in the other direction as well, and you will find that color is spreaded like this. Then again, if you further increase this velocity, what will happen? this color gets distributed, and you will see very light color, and also you will see that it is distributed. Here you will clearly see a dark color and in the one line, whereas here it will slightly disperse. Here it will break and disperse. So this flow is called as the laminar flow, whereas this is called as the transition. And this one is turbulent. So this is at low velocity. You can say this is medium velocity and this is at high velocities. If the diameter is same and the fluid is same, then it depends on velocity, low, medium and high. This apparatus is called as a Reynolds apparatus. Okay. Any questions on this?
Doctor, this is a test to to know what is the flow type of liquid.
What we can?
The previous graph, you said we put the color to see
Yes.
what is the type of flow.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Yes. We put color, that is dye color. Okay. Say for example, if you put say some red color at the center, then if the flow is laminar, then that color will not go to the other line. It will be at the center only. If you are putting the color at center, then you will see that the water is going everywhere, or so that liquid is going in this direction, but the color you will see only in the wherever you are putting. Say for example, if you are putting the color here, then this line will be the you will see by naked eyes. Otherwise, other will be like the fluid color. But the same color, if you insert here that color, then you will see that the color is going in this way, showing that the particle is moving up down. Whereas if you put color here, it will become like after mixing, you will not see that color, right? Exactly. Okay. For example, if you add a red color in the white fluid, then it will become like pink. When it will become pink, if you mix it.
Yes.
So this will be like red line. This will also be red line, but this will become now pink. If the fluid is white, then this you will see that after adding the color, you will see that color line only, showing that this particle is not going to any direction, not going to this direction, not only this. It's
Yeah,
following its own path.
clear, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Here also we have the, in case of laminar flow, we do say that shear stress is proportional to shear strain, right? Or it is equal to mu du by dy. So this is for the viscous flow, whereas here shear stress in turbulent will be equal to theta du bar by dy. This mu is called as the viscosity or dynamic viscosity. So this is the fluid property, whereas this is called as the eddy viscosity or turbulent viscosity. What is the other name? Turbulent eddy viscosity or turbulent viscosity. This dynamic viscosity is homogeneous as well as isotropic. This is non-homogeneous but isotropic. What is the difference between what is meaning of homogeneous and, see, the for homogeneous means it's same way everywhere. Homogeneous means same. For example, if you take honey, okay, if you take honey, so it will be, its properties will be same everywhere. So which property? Say for example the viscosity. So even if you take 1 spoon or 10 spoon, okay, or if you take at low velocity or high velocity, its viscosity is going to be same everywhere. Okay, everywhere. And if you take at those two location and also in different direction, if you take in one point, say for example x y z, if you have three directions or any direction, so it's same in all direction at one point, or it is same in all different points. If it is same in at say 1 2 3, 1 2 3, it is same, then it is homogeneous. At a 1 x y z, if it is same in x y z, then it is isotropic. Is that clear? If any property is same at all points, like 1, 2, 3 are the different points in the fluid, then it is homogeneous. Whereas at any point, if it is same in all direction, then it is isotropic. So this viscosity is basically the fluid property, whereas this is the, can say, the fluid flow property, fluid as well as flow property. So eddy viscosity, eddy is because of the, you know what is eddy? Eddy is like this. Okay, when the flow try to go in different directions. Okay, whereas here we have the laminar, or if it is viscous, then it is flow is like this. Whereas in laminar, the flow will be going in any direction. These are called as the eddies. Okay, like I gave the photo of the water tap. Okay, tap water. If you, okay, if the water is coming smoothly like this, then it is laminar. Whereas if the water is coming, okay, it's basically forming eddies inside. Okay, you will see the breakage of water. So these are called as the eddies, and it is because of that there will be some resistance. Say for example, it is coming in this direction, it is restricting the movement of the particle which is coming in this direction. Whereas here it is because of the adjacent layer, right? So this is the property which is homogeneous and isotropic, whereas this is non-homogeneous. That means at different points, say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it is different. But at this, it at a one point it will be same in all direction. It may be a different value, but same in all direction. This is the eddy viscosity or turbulent viscosity. The unit of both is same, Pascal second. We studied this in the previous class. It is coming Pascal second. Same unit will be there for the eddy viscosity or turbulent viscosity. Whatever is the velocity, this viscosity is not going to change much, or you can say in fact it's not going to change with the velocity, it is fixed. Okay, whereas here the viscosity, this viscosity basically is going to change, turbulent viscosity. We don't have any formation of eddies here, right? So the eddies viscosity will be 0 in the laminar flow. If the flow is laminar, we don't have this eddy, right? If it is forming, we will call it turbulent. So since this is not there, what will happen? We don't have any eddy viscosity or turbulent velocity here. But in case of turbulent flow, some flow is straight, some flow is going in the other direction. That means we have the, in turbulent flow, we have some portions of laminar as well, right? Some are going straight like this here, and some are going in the, forming the eddies. So when we are taking this turbulent flow, we will have both eddy viscosity plus basic property, that is the dynamic viscosity. Okay, so only turbulent is this, but actual flow will be having dynamic and eddy viscosity both. If it is laminar, only one dynamic viscosity will be there. This will not be. In turbulent flows, we will have eddy viscosity plus dynamic viscosity both. Whereas in laminar, only dynamic viscosity, no eddy viscosity, because we don't have any eddies formed. So most of the natural flows are basically the turbulent flows. Have you understood this?
Yes, doctor. Doctor, but please, can you raise your voice, please?
So what is nu? Nu is kinematic viscosity, meter square per second. Here we have the symbol as epsilon, or you can also read this as epsilon. It is a eddy kinematic viscosity. This is equal to mu over rho, right? Here also it is same, eta over rho. So if I add both, so total shear stress will be equal to viscous shear stress, because shear stress due to viscosity process plus shear stress due to the turbulence. Then it will be equal to mu du over dy plus eta du bar over dy. In case of laminar flows, velocities in a layer is same, right? Whereas velocity in layer also changes. So u bar is the average velocity. U bar is average velocity. Even in one layer it is. Whereas here in case of laminar, the average was in the transition. Okay, here it is like the in linear direction as well as in the transitional direction. What is the total shear stress? Mu du by dy. So this will be the laminar component and this is the turbulent component. So if the flow is turbulent, Then okay, I will draw two types. If you remember, in case of laminar flow, how was the distribution? Here the velocity is 0, here the velocity is 0, and it was maximum at the center, right? Center line was very high. So this was the distribution in the laminar flows, right? Whereas in turbulent flows, the if it is flow is only turbulent, then turbulent basically decreases the actual viscosity turbulence. So the resistance is not there very much compared to the in laminar flows. So because of that, the flow will be almost same. So we can say the velocity is center line velocity and average velocity is almost constant. If you see, these lines are similar lines, right? So whereas here you have you are going from very small value. Say of course here we have 0. Then say for example this is 10, okay, then 25, 50, 100 of center velocity. Then it will be like this is 0, then it is 90, then 100, 100 of center velocity. That means this is almost equal, right? Whereas we have here distribution. So this is for the laminar flows. Central velocity is very high, whereas the at other pressure everywhere it is changing significantly. Whereas here change is not significant with radius. So this is turbulent velocity distribution. Because of the turbulence, what is happening? Here we have the good mixing and the velocity will be almost similar everywhere in radius direction. Now, can you give the example of turbulence in practical life? Yes. Do you have any application of turbulent velocity, turbulent flow in routine life?
Oil engine?
Oil engine.
Yes.
So what in that? Is it the oil flow is laminar or turbulent?
Turbulent?
Where?
Think it is laminar.
See where it is. I mean, where is the oil flow? Which see depends on the velocity, diameter, etc. Right? So where is the oil flowing? You're talking about. Yes, complete your example. It's not complete because you have to define the condition as well. For example, if I say that water tap, okay, water is coming, but the same tap, if the water is coming at low velocity, you will find that it is smooth flow coming like this. Okay, you will feel even the shine you will feel. But from the same tap, if it is coming at high velocity, then it will be like this, water coming will. Okay, like bathroom shower, etc. The flow will be laminar or turbulent.
Turbulent because high velocity.
Yes. Okay, but the jet is small, so sometimes you will see multiple laminae if it is coming like smoothly like this. If it is spreading, then it is becoming turbulent. If it is coming same, then it is laminar. It is multiple, basically multiple individual flows it is. This is not like from one they have come, but they have come from multiple small holes. So everyone is small or small diameter laminar flows. But when something goes like this, with this, then it is turbulent. Okay, for example, if you are taking a cup of tea, then if you add sugar, what you do stirring, right? So what that stirring or that mixing is basically the turbulence you are creating. Okay, so basically, if you see here, if I added color here, so it will not mix in the other direction because of the viscosity. Whereas in turbulence or low viscosity, it will disperse in other direction because of its nature. So this is you can say less mixing, and here you can say the high mixing. So if you want to mix something in the fluid, you basically create the turbulence. While cooking, for example, if you want to add salt, pepper, etc., what you do, you stir it properly. You create the turbulence because the turbulence gives you the proper mixing. So this is the laminar velocity distribution and turbulent velocity distribution. See, both cannot be there in one pipe of one velocity, one diameter. Okay, if it is different, then it is different. For example, same velocity, but if I increase the diameter, so that flow may be here laminar, but then again it may become turbulent here. Okay, here it is laminar because say for same velocity it has a smaller diameter. Here maybe it become turbulent. I hope you can imagine this. Because of the increase in diameter, it may become turbulent. Okay, so we mathematically we can say if Reynolds number is less than 2000, we have the laminar flow. If it is more than 4000, we have the turbulent flow. And Reynolds number depends on rho v d by mu, right? Or v into d by nu. We discussed this, right? So if the diameter is high for same velocity, of course the velocity also now going to change. Okay. Now, for example, if I apply the Bernoulli equation, say this is the length of the pipe, okay, and I know I have this, for example, indicators here, I know the pressures here, then there will be some loss of pressure between the two. So we know this, that P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus it is going to be head loss, right? So we said it is HF, small h or capital H, okay, head loss due to friction. Z1 is equal to Z2, or you can say Z is 0. V1 is equal to V1, V2 because the diameter is same, so continuity equation. So P1 minus P2 divided by rho g is equal to HF. So head loss due to friction is P1 minus P2 divided by rho g. Okay. For this, we wrote a formula in the laminar flow. If you remember, it was 32 mu u bar divided by what it was, rho g d square please just check, I may be missing something. It was like this, right? 32 mu u bar L divided by rho GD square, right? For laminar flows. Okay. But here in case of turbulent flows, for this we have the formula F L V square divided by 2GD.
Doctor, I have a question, please.
Yes.
What's what does mean HF?
This is the, we studied the Bernoulli equation and we said that there is the loss of the flow or the loss of energy from going from one point to another point. Total energy is going to same, but so total energy is going to same. So when you are writing 1 and 2, then in real flows there will be some loss. So either the velocity may be decreasing or the pressure is decreasing or there is some kind. Usually if it is straight pipe, then velocity is going to same. If it is horizontal, then Z1 and Z2 is going to same. So that means as the length of the pipe is increasing, there may be loss of pressure. Now, where is that loss of pressure is going and why it is going? It is because of the friction. So this is the like the frictional energy. Okay, pressure energy is slightly decreasing, but frictional energy is increasing. Say for example, here the pipe, the water is depending upon the surface, it should go smooth, right, easily. So it will maintain the pressure. But because of the roughness of the surface, it will not go and it will not maintain that much pressure. In the previous class, I gave the example from a water tap. If you have a short pipe, then what will happen? Whatever is the pressure coming at the inlet of that pipe is at the exit of the pipe. It is almost same if the pipe is short. Say, but for example, if you are doing gardening or giving water to the plants, then if you are taking a long pipe, then the pressure at the tap and the pressure after the at the exit of the pipe is different. Why it is different? Because of the long pipe, the resistance has more, or you can say loss of pressure is high and you are getting less pressure. Okay, and that will be the, say for example, this value is 100 here, then this value after some time because of the losses it will be say 98, and there will be say 2% is lost. Okay, lost means it is there actually, but in the different form. Here it is in the form of pressure. Okay, so 100% was in pressure form here. There was no friction say, at this point. It is started from here. So because of the friction is started here. So the total energy, total temperature, etc. is going to be remain same, but the pressure, if you say, if you put indicators, you will see that it is different. So if it is showing 100 value here, it will show 98 value here. So for example, that means there is a loss of 2. So where that has gone, why the losses has occurred? It is because of the, we say it is because of the friction. It depends on the surface roughness, etc. It depends on the velocity, it depends on the diameter, it depends on the length. Okay, mostly on the length. Okay, so for that the formula is in turbulent flows, the head loss due to this friction is equal to 4FLV square divided by 2GD.
Doctor, it
Yes.
can depends on the liquid velocity.
Yes, velocity here it is. V is velocity.
Okay.
It depends on velocity. Okay. It depends on, say for example, if this velocity is low, then loss will be low. If velocity is high, then this will try to reduce the value. So the difference will come, or will say is high. So loss will be high. You know the car, for example, you are driving the car. Okay. So your tires, car tires are rubbing on the road, right? Okay. If you drive at fast, at high speed, you will see actually we consider that already, but you will see that the tire may get hot if you drive at very high speed. Why? Because of the frictional forces. Okay, it is losing some energy and it is gaining some energy. Whereas if you drive at low speed, the temperature of the tire will not increase. Okay, so say for example, even if you do this, okay, then it is becoming like warming the hands. Why it is becoming the warming the hands? Why the temperature is changing? Because some energy is lost and some energy is gained. Okay, so it's a kind of that effect will happen in the flow. Okay, so the head loss due to friction is 4FLV square divided by 2GD. Please write down this relation. Here this F is called as the coefficient of friction. This equation is called as Darcy-Weisbach. Weisbach or Weisbach, whatever you can read. Darcy-Weisbach or Weisbach equation. And here F is called as the coefficient of friction. Coefficient of friction. See, in case of laminar flow, this is equal to 32 mu u bar L divided by rho GT. But here it is 4 FLV square over 2 GT. The derivation of this is there in the book. If you are interested, you can go through the derivation of the equation, how this equation has come. So P1 minus P2 over rho G is equal to 4FLV square divided by 2GD. So F is the coefficient of friction, L is the length between the length of pipe, or you can say whatever you are measuring between distance between the 2 points. It's basically the length of pipe. V is the velocity, G is the gravitational acceleration, and D is the diameter of the pipe. F is coefficient of friction. If I write HF in the just like FLV square divided by 2GD, then I will write this F dash LV square divided by 2GD. Then F dash is equal to what it will become. F dash is equal to 4F, right? If instead of 4F, if I write F dash, then it will become F dash LV square divided by 2GT. Am I right? Then this F dash will become is called as friction factor.
So what is the difference between friction, coefficient of friction, friction factor?
It's just the value. Instead of increasing the numbers, you say that F dash. So number of terms will be only. Here we have the 7 parameters here, right? If you
Okay.
consider 4 and 2, so instead of 7, we have 6, like that.
Okay.
Okay. So different users use different. So we should be clear that what is coefficient of friction and what is friction factor. It will come. Actually, they have their own definition as well, but I don't want to go in detail. So this is the friction factor, whereas this is the coefficient of. So this equation is called as Darcy-Weisbach equation. It's very famous for the flow through the pipe, but that usually the turbulent flow through the pipe. Then we have another person has given, and it is called as Chase's formula. Another method to calculate the HF. So he said that I is a parameter, okay, and it is equal to HF over the L, or you can say HF is proportional to the length. So as the length is increasing, HF is increasing, that is loss is increasing. So then he said that HF is equal to I into L. I is some constant he introduced. Okay, so I is equal to HF over L, and to get this I, we have a Chase's constant C. Chase's constant, and it is equal to rho G divided by F dash. What is F dash? Friction factor. Okay, please write down this. He also defined a parameter M, and M is equal to the area divided by wetted perimeter. For example, if the pipe, if the flow is completely filled, if the pipe is completely filled, then this complete circle is the wetted perimeter. But say for example, if the pipe is going, the flow is going only from the half of the pipe, then what is the wetted perimeter? This much is the wetted perimeter. That means the flow is going in the half pipe only. Okay, you know that sometimes happens. You will see the usually the underline the drainage system. You will see that the flow is not 100% full, but it's going like half most of the times, and the air is the remaining. So that much will be the called as the wetted perimeter. If it is fully full flow, then of course it will be complete circle. So in that case, if it is full flow, it's pi over 4 d square is the area, whereas pi d is the muhit, that complete perimeter. So one will be cancelled, 4 will be there, so it will come d by 4. Okay, so please write down this. We'll use this equation in the next class and solve some numericals related to this. Okay. Okay, we have 7 students absent today. Okay, we'll see what it's. Okay, is that clear? So we'll stop here in the today. Inshallah, in the next class, we will solve some numerical related to this. Then it will be pretty clear in the next class. Okay.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask in the group as well. Please don't shy to ask the question. Okay. See you next class. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.